Hi, I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborn, and welcome to Creating Your Unshakable Foundation. I'm a holistic life coach, and I'm an expert in the power of choice. I help you to get from where you are now to where you want to be in life by supporting you, by assisting you, by strategizing with you, and by helping you to tap into the inner resources that you have that can help you make your dreams come true. For the next 15 minutes, we're actually going to be talking about how to create your unshakable foundation. But, with that being said, life in itself can present so many challenges. Have you ever felt that whatever you do, it kind of seems to go wrong? Or whatever you try to accomplish, it never quite manifests, it never quite happens. Have you ever felt that you're not enough, or you don't know enough, or you're not confident enough, or your self-image doesn't portray to you that you're enough, despite what people may be saying to you? Have you ever felt, or are you currently experiencing, that no matter what you do, whether it be in your relationships, whether it be at work, that it's never right? Are you currently experiencing that, I'm kind of tired of always trying and it not just working out? Have you ever had the feeling that whatever you have done would never, ever be good enough? Have you found yourself being depressed, isolated, angry, confused, hopeless, defeated? Have you ever found yourself wounded emotionally, bleeding emotionally, hemorrhaging emotionally? Have you ever found yourself so defeated, so hopeless, that you say to yourself, what's the point of me even getting up today? What's the point? Because for everything that I try to do, I am knocked off of my foundation. I am knocked down, and I don't want to be knocked down anymore. I don't have the strength or the wherewithal to go through this anymore. I don't want to be an emotional wreck. I want a life. I want to live. I want to enjoy it. I want to experience my dreams. I don't want to be this person. Well, everything that I have just said, everything that I have just mentioned is a self-portrait of me. Everything. I was angry. I was confused. I was isolated. I was wounded. My emotional self was wounded. My self-worth was wounded. My self-image was wounded. I was bleeding. I was hemorrhaging. I was hopeless. And I was defeated. I was defeated. Nothing that I was doing in my personal life, in my relationships, in my work, in my career, in my desires, even cooking, for God's sake, nothing was going right. Nothing. One day I got up and I looked in the mirror. And I looked in the mirror and I didn't know who this woman was. I was like, well, who's this? I didn't know who this woman was. But I knew the woman in the mirror was crying. And I had the wherewithal to feel for her. I had felt compassion. And ironically, as I looked in the mirror, I didn't try to wipe away my tears. I was so detached from me, so isolated from me. I touched the mirror and tried to wipe the tears from the woman in the mirror. The woman in the mirror that I didn't recognize was me. And as a result of all the things that had happened in my life, I wound up having a near-death experience. Now, this segment about creating your foundation isn't about me having a near-death experience. I'm actually not unique. It's a common thing to happen. Thousands of people a day have near-death experiences. But what is unique is the journey. It's the journey back. And I had time on that journey back to lay and think, to think and lay about life. And what it is, what is the adhesive of life? What is this thing called life? And how can I build a foundation upon which I will never be knocked down again? I will never be defeated. How can I build a foundation where I feel secure? And what came to me was choice. Choice. The adhesive that binds all things together, all facets of your life, my life. The adhesive that binds it all together is choice. Our lives are built one choice at a time. It's choice. Many self-help books, self-discovery books, actually, even outside of that realm, even the media treat us like a foregone conclusion. Self-help books are foregone conclusion. You know, because you've picked up this self-help book about meditation, it's a foregone conclusion you're going to meditate. Well, I'm here to tell you that the simple principles that I'm going to give you to put in place will no longer make you and your life a foregone conclusion, because your life is all about you choosing it. So the old you, that was the era of the foregone conclusion. The new you is now in control of your life through the power of choice and, of course, the principles that I'm going to share with you. Don't get caught up in the myth that you're part of a foregone conclusion. So what are these principles? There are 4 pillars that I'd like to share with you and 3 questions that I want you to ask yourself. Now, the 4 pillars, which I also call the 4 C's, are choice, commitment, consequence, and concentration. And actually, it actually goes choice, commitment, concentration, and consequences. So let's look at pillar number 1. Pillar number 1 is choice. Choice is all about clarity. If you don't have clarity, you cannot choose. You can't choose anything. You'll be blowing in the wind. So in order to help your dreams to manifest and come true, you need choice. You need clarity. In order to get from A to Z, you need clarity of choice. And in order to choose, you need clarity. So pillar number 1 is choice. Pillar number 2 is commitment. And whoa, this can be a big one for people, commitment. In order for your dream to materialize, or your goal to materialize, the thing that you now have chosen because you have clarity around it, you need to be committed to it. Commitment is the propulsion that will allow you to move towards your goal. Commitment will allow you to see it through to the end. Commitment will allow you to get from A to Z. The third pillar is concentration. Concentration is all about focus. Concentration is about giving your divided attention to that which it is that you want. Concentration will allow you to get back on the pathway when distractions happen. And as you journey along your pathway, as you journey along from A to Z, things are going to happen. You may need to pull off to refuel. You might decide you want to see Auntie Lou. You might want to hike in the mountains. You might want a 2-week hiatus. Whatever it is, commitment will allow you to get back on your pathway, to do what you need to do. Concentration will help you to stay the distance. And of course, being clear with choice allows you to know where you're going. So by being focused, by having concentration, it will help you to get back to commitment, which will allow you to get to your goal. And the fourth pillar, your fourth pillar is something that is a universal law. Okay? And I'll start out that way. It's something that is a God or your deity given law. And this is consequence. And if you don't take anything away with you today, if nothing else, take this away with you. That for every action that you take, there is a reaction. There's a consequence. And this doesn't matter if it's good, bad, happy, sad, ugly. There is a consequence. And recognizing that there is a consequence allows you to prepare for eventualities. And I'm not talking about becoming obsessed. It allows you to prepare for eventualities, because you know with anything that you've chosen to do, there's going to be a consequence. So those are the 4 pillars, and you can implement them into any strategy, anything that you're doing in your life, anything that you want to do. And this will build a solid foundation for you to build upon. Now, there are 3 other questions that I would actually like you to ask yourself. What am I wanting around my choice? What am I seeing around my choice? And when you've done that, ask yourself, am I seeing any more? And these questions will help you to stay focused. They'll help you to stay committed. They'll help you to stay on track, and they will allow you to be at ease with any consequence that comes down the line. Now, the other thing that I would like to say is that there are some common mistakes that people make with this implementation. 1, they're not very clear about their choice, so they are unable to make a choice. And 2, they are not committed. If you're not committed, it's not going to work. And if you don't give any energy, if you don't concentrate, if you don't focus, you're not going to get anywhere. And honestly, the biggest one is people don't actually recognize that, you know, there are consequences for any and everything you do. This is a universal law. So what I would like you to do, the first step I'd like you to take, is to go into your cache of dreams and choose one. Just choose one and apply the 4 principles. Choose it through clarity. Commit to it. Bond yourself to it. Concentrate. Focus on it. Concentrate. And recognize that there are things that may happen. There are consequences, because every action creates a reaction. So build your unshakable foundation and create the life that you want to live through the power of your conscious choice. Create your dreams. I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborn. You can get hold of me at drwendy@itsmylifemychoice.com or itsmylifemychoice.com. That's the website. Thank you for listening.